But I made mistakes. I tried not to make them again. It was an interesting thing on the LORAN station, of course. I was an officer. I went to the academy. I was a sailor here. That's what they've trained us to be, a sailor. And so we were there, and somebody one time said, has the LORAN station never had a boat? And I said, no, we don't need to have a boat. We're not going anywhere. We just have a ship that brings in our supplies every 2 or 3 weeks, and our movies and our food, and so we don't need a boat. You know, we could probably make a boat out of plywood. And then I had a couple of guys that were really interested. I think it was one or two of the electronic technicians. I wonder why I think it's the cook, not the one that I had problem with, but the cook before that or after him. I don't know which it was. But anyway, I had about 3 guys that were interested. You mean we could actually make a boat? I said, well, you guys built the Davenport for your rec room, which you made out of plywood, and they took old mattresses and cut them up and they made this cushions and stuff. They made their own Davenport for a rec room. I said, you did that. We could probably make a boat. And so we made a little boat. And of course they're 8 foot. Okay, that's with the length of the boat, the sides and the bottom, you know. And so we made sides and a bottom. We cut it so it had a bow.
Okay.
And we had the sides. Went around the sides.
Okay.
We could bend them. How did we do that?
Yeah, you get it wet.
We could bend this plywood. But anyway, we made a boat. The mast was I think we got that from the ship. I think they had an old boom or something. And I was building the boat, and they come every week or so. I said, do you guys ever have any old masts or anything you throw away? And they said, yeah, we do. And so they provide us with a little mast. And so we had a mast. And
why didn't they just provide you with a little boat?
They could have, I guess, but
yeah. This
was a project. We had to build it.
Did you use tar on it, or?
I think we had some glue.
Glue?
I'm going to say we had some glue. Now, that's hard to believe.
That's probably before the days of epoxy, right?
Oh yeah. We had some wood glue of some sort.
When you launched it, did it leak?
Nope. I don't remember it did. But we had some tar. We had barrels of tar.
There you go.
When they brought us our fuel, and that was once a year, they have this big ship that would bring us about 100 barrels of fuel.
Yeah.
For our diesel engines. And when we got that, we had some tar.
You might have had grease too.
I'm sure we had grease because we needed grease for our engines. Yep. So we had barrels of grease too. But anyway, we built a little boat, and then I had the rules that now we got this. If you take a look at our island, there's water runs in and out of this channel over here. So you got to stay away from that. And of course, you can say it all day long, but if you got in that current, a tide going in or out, you're going to go with that. We had oarlocks on the boat, and oars. They could row it too. The sail with sheets. I think we just took some sheets and they sewed them and we made the sail. It wasn't much of a sailboat. They had fun with it. They could go out and.
Did you ever go out in it?
No, I didn't. I never left the base. I was in charge. Oh, we had it for 2 or 3 months. Somebody made a mistake. They got over near the stream. The tide was full bore going out, and they just got caught in it. And the next thing they were screaming at me that as they went by the island, they were headed out. And I just told them to pull over to the side and come up along the edge. And then we went and tried to get some rope, and we went out, and they got out in the ocean, and they came along the beach, and then we could throw a line to them, and then we pulled them down along the edge, and we just worked them back by going along the rocks.
And then what happened?
Then we said, we're not going to use that boat again.
So did you destroy the boat or?
I don't know. I think we did not. I just think we just stored it.
Okay.
I said, we're not going to use that again. I think I'm
You trusted the guys to follow your command.
Yeah, I trusted them. I trusted my guys. They knew I trusted them. If I told them not to do something, they didn't do it. They just didn't do it. I didn't build it. I just gave them advice, and then they would work on it. And I'd give them some more advice, and we didn't have Google to go to. But we had fun. We did our job,
and nobody got hurt.
And nobody got hurt. And
it was traumatic enough to you to make the executive decision.
We're not going to. I said, no, we're going to keep the boat. The next CO may be willing to try it again. I'll just tell them what happened to us. And probably it would have been all right after that.
Did you get that pit in your stomach feeling when the guys were going out?
I thought I was going to lose a couple of guys. Yeah. I wouldn't have lost them probably because they'd just gone out on the tide. I'd called the Navy, picked them up, and brought them back. But we solved it ourselves.